For the first time in a million years, I went to the mall and somebody brought a gun to the mall. You can imagine how that ended. This is gonna be one of those books that like sits with you and you have to take your time reading. So I'm so happy I'm starting this out with a win. Backyard, our protagonist found something in the backyard. And Sam, oh, this is weird. I'm liking it so far though, surprisingly. I thought this was gonna be kind of like rereading Goosebumps books Goosebumps books as an adult and realizing just how repetitive they are and just how samey they are. But it's not, so I appreciate that. I mean, it is very much like something you find in the genre. I also find it fascinating that they have the kids in this into Poe and Lovecraft. Like, oof, Lovecraft in middle school. Now that's some hardcore stuff. Like, I hate Lovecraft as an adult. I mean, some of it's his beliefs and some of it is just the writing. But I mean, okay, all right. Like, we just had zombies. It's not like I'm reading book 4 in this series, right? Like, I'm reading the same book. It's just another zombie story. So I hope there's not another zombie story, because quite frankly, one is enough in here. If I'm gonna read that many zombie stories, I'm gonna pick up a good book that's a zombie story. Not that this is bad, but you know what I mean, like a decent zombie story. Whereas this, not so much, you know? It's good for what it is. I do want to finish the series. I'm excited to read volume 2. I will probably end up picking up 3 and 4 on my own. Because it's good, it's fun. Do not expect this to be groundbreaking. We got 2 zombie stories in here. I'm gonna go ahead and use spoilers. I will for all the books, I'll warn you for the other ones, but I don't think anyone that's gonna watch this is actually gonna care about these children's books. So I'm pretty sure these are middle grade. I could be wrong, I don't really understand what the line between middle grade and children's is, but 10-year-old me would have adored these. So they are very corny. There is all sorts of references to the ride down in Florida. I'm sure also the ride out in California. I haven't been on that one, so I don't know. It doesn't hold back too much, which surprised me. I am used to reading, and again, that's one of the reasons why I think it's actually middle grade and not children's, because this holds less punches. It could have gone a lot more gruesome than it does at places, and some of them are really bad it didn't. The like little letter, the letter from the librarian about how this story contains stuff about being buried alive. If you can't read that, don't continue. I appreciate that. And it's just, it works narratively in the story, more of that. I think that books should be how we confront things, should be how we make discussions about things. But some people can't handle it, and that's okay. And also some people don't just like gratuitous violence, and they need to know that walking in. Like, there are some popular horror books online that I will never read because they just ain't for me. But I know that because I know the basic gist of what's going on in the story. Corny, it's campy, it's ridiculousness, but it's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this 4 stars because it is just fun. I think I'm gonna save volume 2 for my Reading in the Dark challenge, or like prompt for this, because I just love this. It's fun, it's cute, it's... Hello, hi guys, welcome to day 2 of Summer Clean. So today is the day of books that have basically nothing to do with summer reading, except I'm slotting this one in as my thriller because I need to read it for a couple of other projects and I couldn't find a spooky thriller. So I'm gonna at least read a couple chapters today of When Justice Sleeps by Stacey Abrams. I also have to read, again, not related to summer reading at all, Fellowship of the Ring. I'm working on this for a project as well. That's just for enough, so it's good. It's really good. I'm only to the second chapter. I'm definitely gonna have to find a different thriller for the challenge though, because wow, this woman can write. Just oof. Again, I want to sit down and read the whole thing, but it's also gonna be one of those that, like, it's definitely the kind of book you have to think about, which I love, but I don't think it's for this challenge. I think I'm just gonna have to buy a book. I think I'm just gonna have to do that because, like I said, I definitely need to finish this in the next 2-3 weeks. Partially because I got it from the library, partially because of other reading stuff I'm doing. And wow, I'm impressed, but also this is the one time I go to the mall. The one time an idiot brings a gun. So I want to preface before I speak any further, everything is fine, everybody is fine, only one guy got shot. Mom and I are totally fine. We just never go to the mall, and on a whim decided to go to the mall today because it's rainy and gross, and just decided to go to the mall. Some idiot brought a gun. So apparently, according to the newspaper article I just read, apparently according to the article in my local news I just read, 2 guys got into a fight outside of a store and one of them shot the other. Thinks that I'm making that up for clicks, which why would I? Here's the news article that came out like right away after it. There have been a couple since. I would get like actual footage of like the news, but I'm afraid that it would trigger the copyright senses, and I can't afford that right now with my channel, so we're not even gonna do that. But yeah, here, enjoy these screenshots, these lovely screenshots that for some reason have black marks on them. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, so enjoy. It was not a pleasant hour, 45 minutes of my life, let me tell you. Again, thankful it ended how it did. Truly thankful it wasn't as bad as it could have been, because it could have been another national tragedy. And we are very fortunate that A, we were safe, even if it had been, and B, it wasn't. That's all I'm going to speak on this today. I'm not even going to get into the whole guns thing, because this is not the place. But this is not the platform, this is not the video, this is not the place. But that did happen, and it's thrown me for obvious reasons. So, yeah. So today, I have a ton of work I need to get done. But I'm also going to be reading A House with Good Bones. I read the first chapter. It's definitely weird. It's weirder than I was expecting. But this is the goal, or a good chunk of this is the goal for today. Because I got a lot of work I gotta get done. I gotta finalize some stuff to finish the applications for school so I can actually get in. And then I gotta do some shopping. Again, hopefully that doesn't end disastrously like it did yesterday. Which actually could have ended much more disastrously than it did. So I will update you guys in a little bit. Now that I've had more coffee, I can actually explain to you what's going on in my book. At least that we know right now. So, we have our main character, our protagonist, and she is some sort of some sort of entomologist. She works with insects and bugs at archaeological sites. It does say what her like specificity is, but there's no way I remember that. And it's literally a career I've never heard of, but she works with insects at archaeological sites. So that is what she does, and she's going back to her grandmother's house that her mother now lives in, and her grandmother, wow, I never ever say this because my father's mother was not a nice person, and I don't talk a lot about this online because of reasons, but this woman, her grandmother, makes my fraternal grandmother look like a kind person. That is a pretty hard bar to cross. Just for the record, that is a nigh impossible bar to cross, and yet she makes my fraternal grandmother look good. I didn't know that was humanly possible, but it is, and I think it's gonna get more that way as I go on. But basically she ends up having to go back home because she's furloughed, and she's supposed to have been on the dig for at least 3 months, and you know, her roommates have already they've already gotten another roommate for the time, and blah blah blah. So she ends up back at her bedroom in this house, and her mom is acting weird. One of the other reasons why she's there is because her brother said, "Mom's acting weird, I don't know what's going on." Just finished chapter 6. I had no idea that ladybugs swarmed. I knew that flies and bees and like insects swarm. I didn't know ladybugs did. That's cool. But yeah, we're definitely setting up like a paranormal situation with the swarming insects and stuff, and I think there might be more going on with grandma than like isn't. I don't know, but that's where they're doing work at the house next door. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm about 50% of the way through A House with Good Bones, and great grandpapa was into some just whoa. That's weird. Okay. So I'm reading A House with Good Bones, and we found something in the backyard. She found something in the backyard. Our protagonist found something in the backyard. And Sam, oh, this is weird. Again, not an archaeologist, but I think even like the most well-trained professional archaeologist in the world finds some crazy shit like that in their own family's backyard. There's not a lot of reactions one can have to that scenario, cause what the hell? And we just got back from the ice cream shop, and it's gone. It's just gone. It's just gone. Current running theory is that there's some sort of black magic situation going on here. Ooh, grandpapa. He was a bit of an eccentric. That would be the diplomatic way of putting it. But grandpapa was a crazy old wizard man guy. And, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if grandma's been feeding his creation. Cause yeah, I finished it. I finished A House with Good Bones. I get why so many people don't like this. It is very fairy tale-esque. Very, very fairy tale-esque. Very much normal person gets thrown in a situation that is just insane. And it's a slow burn. It's very small. This is not an easy thing to do, a slow burn in a book this short, but it is. And I really liked it. I'm gonna give it a 4.5, a 4.5, I think. Yeah, we're gonna go with a 4.5. There are parts of it that are a little wonky, but there are parts of it that aren't. And some of the imagery in this, it's one of the things I love about Kingfisher, is just her ability to write imagery is just mwah. Yeah, okay. She's a lot kind of like, sort of Lovecraftian. Sort of. Minus the racism and sexism and all of the bad shit. Minus everything bad that Lovecraft did. Like, the way she writes her monsters and the fact that stuff is just like unsettling. It's like sort of Lovecraftian, like in the same vein as Lovecraft, if that makes sense. Because it is not like a typical haunted house story. It's set up in the beginning as a typical haunted house story. It does not end that way. And like, these books do not fill in all of the answers. If you're somebody that needs all the answers filled in for the book that you're reading, you're not gonna like Kingfisher. But I really liked it. I'm very happy. This is basically what I was expecting. If you really liked The Ones That Move the Dead, you may not like this. The Ones That Move the Dead, if I remember correctly, is a Poe retelling. And it's very different to this. But I really did. So, yeah, 4.5. I'm very excited. I think next I'm going to be reading Hidden Pictures.